idols that we have put up in just society around leadership that makes it so this perfection that makes it so hard to feel like we can do it too. And I feel like this is a lot of the things, where people don't go for their go for their dreams or don't start their business or don't step into their entrepreneur endeavors and all of the things because we put leaders on this pedestal, and then when they fall we judge them hard. And so, you know the saying, when you point one finger is three fingers pointing back at you, is kind of true because we all fall short. We all fall short of the glory of God, but that doesn't make them any less capable of being a leader, right? And now, all right. So we are back. Impact in action. My name is Denisha Ray, and I'm excited because we have been going over our 10-week series, which is the building before the breakthrough. And this is week number 3, session number 3. And we are going over Miriam's story. So we started talking about a community of ladies that are all having some type of entrepreneur endeavor. Some of them work and they do the business, some of them just do the business. They have all different stories. And so we've been going over their story. Again, subscribe, hit the notification bell so when we come out with stuff, you are able to get it. This is the know how and how to of entrepreneurship development. And so we're here for you. We are here for you and your business. And we have been going through these ladies' journey and just pulling out, if their stories resonate with you. So just a little bit of background about Mariam if you didn't catch it. Mariam is a newlywed and she married into a blended family. She now has 5 boys when she originally had 2. And her husband, their bosses, she is a boss. She stepped in like, I got this. But the boys was like, no, you don't. And they required authenticity from her. And so, what had to change before her family could connect? Number one, the identity. Miriam had to release the belief that her value came from being the most capable person in the room and believing that she just had to, if she didn't have it all together, she was unworthy. That's not the truth. we actually we actually come alive. It says, the Bible says, in your weakness I made strong, right? And so in your weakness God is made strong. And so that's when he gets the glory, and we want him to have the glory because he can do it, right? He's the one with the glory, not us. It's him, right? So, and then her posture, she had to move from directing people to understanding them, and so it wasn't about you do this, you go here, right? It was about understanding where they come from, and kind of adapting as needed. And then authenticity. She had to learn that saying, I'm learning too. I'm learning how to be a mother of 5. I had 2, now I have 5. So I'm learning how to be a mother of 5, right? And that it did not weaken her leadership because she had to learn through it. And it made her safe to follow because then people feel like, you know, you're following a human, not just a dictator. And so vulnerability is not the opposite of leadership. What she released, the need to look composed, certain, and unaffected, what she practiced: honest prayer, real conversations, apology, listening, and adjustment, and what God strengthened her ability to lead through trust rather than image. And why is that important? Because we already talked about you don't have to have it all together, right? Um, but when you're relatable and when somebody knows that, like, you go through a trip, because I feel like it's so many like idols that we have put up in just society around leadership that makes it so this perfection that makes it so hard to feel like we can do it too. And I feel like this is a lot of the things, where people don't their go for their dreams, or don't start their business, or don't step into their entrepreneur endeavors and all of the things, because we've put leaders on this pedestal, and then when they fall we judge them hard. And so, the saying, when you point one finger, is three fingers pointing back at you. It's kind of true, because we all fall short. We all fall short of the glory of God, but that doesn't make them any less capable of being a leader, right? And now again, like, we're not talking about playing in his face. We're not talking about playing in God's face and just just being out here, right? We're talking about a stumble or not making it, missing the mark. Missing the mark, because we all miss the mark sometimes, right? But if you have in your mind that a leader is supposed to be perfect, then when it's your time to step up to be a leader, you feel like you have to be perfect. And then you start to think about all of the places in your life where you're not perfect. And then that's when the control kicks in, because you try to make them perfect. And then anyone that's in your way of not making them perfect, then they're an issue and they have to be dealt with. If that's you in the comments, let me know. If that's you, I think that I can identify a little bit of me in each one of these ladies. I promise you. So if that's you, let me know. Right? And so that's the thing. And that's the thing. You don't have to be perfect to be a leader. And you don't have to have all of the answers, especially in the age that we're in, the age of AI. Nobody has all of the answers. Nobody can do all of the things and release and take some pressure off yourself for feeling like you have to, because that's a burden that you don't have to carry. We have enough that we have to carry, and we carry it with grace and poise and beautifully, right? But with that being said, take that pressure off of you. Whatever pressure you can take off of you, take it off. And the pressure of having to know everything, the pressure of having to show up 100%. We show up beautifully, because that's how I felt this morning. I woke up like this. That's because that's how I feel, not because I feel pressured to do so, right? If I wake up one morning and I don't feel like it, I just don't feel like it, and that's okay too. That's okay too. If I wake up several mornings in a row and I don't feel like it, I then have to pray and say, God, is this me? Is it time to rest? Because sometimes, literally, I struggle with having to rest. So whenever my body is telling me no, I literally pray about it. And I'm like, okay, am I supposed to be resting, or is something else going on, right? And that conversation is the sweet spot. That conversation is the sweet spot. So, what if they do not need you to have it all together? Feeling unqualified does not mean you have nothing valuable to offer. People connect more deeply when they can see the process, not only the polished result. And so, whenever somebody, and I've seen it before, right? Like, you see somebody and you see them get started, and then you look again, and because people not hawking your page, like, sometimes we can be so self-centered is the word, so I'm gonna use it. Sometimes we can be so self-centered and think that people are watching us. We want to stop and say thank you for watching. Becoming Her is your entrepreneurship development community, giving emerging entrepreneurs the know-how and practical how-to for building with confidence. Since you're here, we know you're ready for your next step. So visit our website, join your tribe, and claim your free resources. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. And you can shop the merch, schedule your next step session, support the mission, and share this with another woman ready to build. Let's keep becoming together. Some people are. And it's not always for good motives, right? But a lot of people go on about their day and they see, your page will come up, and they're like, oh, she's doing good. And then they look back, and we've done it too, right? You see somebody and they're kind of coming back, and you look back, you're like, what? How did they get something subscribers, but then you're locked in, right? Because you've seen it. You've seen the come up. You've seen the mistakes. You've seen, now, and this is where the authenticity part comes in, because this person is not perfect, because what person is? You've seen this person make mistakes. You've seen this person fail. You've seen this person try different businesses and it's not working. Now you look up and this person has 100K subscribers. What happened? Now I'm invested. Same thing with your people. Authenticity. There's nothing I could have done. I was obedient. God said go. I went. He said stop. I stopped. I used discernment. When he allowed me, because God is not just like this dictator, where, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's a lot of decisions that I get to make on my own, but the ones that I can, I'm okay with, right? The ones where he's like, oh, here, I'd rather. No, it's taken the journeys, right, to get to that place to say, I'd rather go with you and go here than to do it my own way, right? Because I've done it my own way before, and I've seen where that got me. But the progress, leadership is not proving that you have arrived. It is modeling how to keep growing, in spite of, right? So, where are you performing? I would like to know that in the comments. I would like to know if it's a particular part that you're literally like just in performance. Because another thing that I see about performance as well is you're kind of denying that your reality is good enough, right? And kind of like, because when you feel like you have to perform, then it's like what you're going through is not okay, and it is. Even your emotions are okay. We just have to work through them, right? And we don't necessarily want them to overtake us, but they're okay. It's okay to have emotions. It's okay. It's okay to not feel like it some days. It's okay. It's okay to not want a mom some days. It's okay to not want a wife some days. It's okay to just want to sit there some days. Like my dream vacation is just sitting there, just going somewhere and drinking my coffee or drinking my little wine, whatever it is I choose for the time, and just sitting there and talking, have a conversation with God. That's my dream vacation right there. Not having to make sandwiches and which I love those things, right? But okay, we're going off on a tangent. But where am I trying to appear more certain than I truly am? Who needs honesty and connection from me, not another polished answer? And sometimes I think we kid ourselves, because sometimes we might feel like people don't know that we're doing it, but they actually do. They know when you have a rehearsed answer and when you're actually like listening. Like you can tell when someone's engaged and actually paying attention to you, rather than they're just like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, whatever you say. What would authentic leadership look like in this season? Another thing is knowing when seasons have changed, because sometimes we are in a like in survival mode when we're actually like in abundance, right? But we still feel like we're in survival mode, right? But we have stuff around us everywhere. But because we still feel like we're in survival mode, we're still answering questions based off of that season than the new season that we're in, right? And so that's why it becomes frustrating for other people and frustrating for ourselves, because it's a disconnect. And the disconnect is the answer that's being, provided is not the season that we're in, right? And so performance, honesty, and connection. That's what matters. I hope you guys can hear my baby in the back. But you do not have to be perfect to lead well. My baby in the background, be an example. We still here. He's in the background doing whatever it is he's doing, and we are still here, right? You don't have to be perfect. It does not have to be perfect. If anything, I think I appreciate when I see someone's kid walks across the stream and they're trying to talk. Now, you gotta have balance, right? Because then people will hear, "Oh, I kind of appreciate that," and then they'll have their kid, all the time. That's not what we're talking about. But let go of the performance. Tell the truth about where you are. Listen before you direct. Apologize when necessary and keep showing up while you grow. And this is not just for your family. This is for your business. This is for your employees. This is for work, right? This is for all of the above. And so I've definitely enjoyed speaking about Miriam's journey and just where she is. And I enjoy this series altogether because again, I can see myself in a little bit of all of them. And so, if you saw a little bit of yourself, put that in the comments. Share with another lady that is going the journey as well. And you guys enjoy. We will see you next week with the next lady story. Bye.